line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
For the final time this season, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League in the spring season. This is their final race here in the famed Homestead Miami Speedway here in Homestead, Florida. It is time to bring it down to the house and bring it to the track. It's going to be a hot one here in old Florida. Alright everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Drive, joining you guys here today. Here we are getting ready. We're getting set to end this season on a high note and get it on a crazy note with 18 top level drivers ready to go at it one more time on the track. Should be interesting to see who can take it to the house in the final race of the season, presented in part by our friends at Six Sigma Sim Racing. So, starting up on the pole today, the Rattlesnake Robert Conn will be in the 48 of the outside. The number 6 of the B Parker, Patrick Kelly. Row number 2 is going to be the 12 of Aylton Norgar on the outside. And the number 24, Davey Hayden, Jimmy Hayden. Row number 3, Austin Louder in the 14, the outside. In the 43, from across the pond, William White. Row number 4, and the number 22, Jeff Oaks, the old Oak himself. And the outside, the 20 will be Andrew Ardcastle. Row 5, Chad Lancaster, number 2, the outside. The 41, Ryan Beeman. Row number 6 at the throttle, Chantel Pottle on the outside. The 5 the outside, the 9 is Peter Irons. Row number 7 will be piloted by Corey Abbott. The number 21 the outside, and the 15 it is Kenny McGrath. Row number 8 is Will Rempe, and the 55 the outside, and the 76 Mike Rideout. Row 9, final starters of the day, Chris Schuessler in the 61 the outside, and the 3 Arthur Clements. Race fans, it is time here in the big old Florida land. The Florida Keys about to bring us some speeds. The engines have roared, the fans are ready, and the drivers are ready to go with it. It's going to be a wild one here on the show today. Question remains, though, who will be able to take control of this race and take control on the early get with 120 laps to the distance. Timing going to be extremely crucial here. Drivers well aware of the necessary needs and the regulations they're going to have to put themselves ahead at, and the trials and tribulations that go with it. Through thick and thin, through thick and span, ladies and gentlemen, this is our final race of the season for Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League here. And it's time to let them loose here in Homestead. To the line, we'll drop the green flag. It's time to finish the spring season. Here we go. Off the early pitch here, the drivers will make their early runs to the bottom. Some trying to take it to the outside immediately, trying to stick to the right, stick to the grooves. 3 wide saloon there for just a brief little minute. As 14 there of Austin Lauer giving himself a little clip on the wall. Fast now, number 14 getting a little too aggressive there, getting himself kind of ramped up a little harder than maybe he was expecting. Corey Abbott right in the outside wall line, trying to get something going too, is the 5 Chantel Pottle. Uses the bottom lane to her advantage. The old Fox Racing, Six Sigma Sim Racing GT, Ford Mustang GT. Yeah, let's get a little run, getting a little show there. Kind of surprised though, still she's driving the Ford, considering she's been a Chevy kind of girl. But gotta give the Ford where credit is credit's due. When they can get it figured out and they get some drive down on the track, they gotta really go where the speed in lies. A lot of drivers easy out of the gate here, really getting too close to that wall protection. I know that's where all the speed is, but man, a lot of them losing so much ground just trying to drive it up in there and end up finding themselves kind of wrapped up in it. Robert Van Ness says, "Go get him, Snake." He's got his eye on the old rattlesnake. Robert Kahn, the low is 48 today. But Ayla to Norgard early on, taking the early lead. Jimmy Davey Hayden in the 24. That's kind of the nickname I gave him here. They be hating him. He's Jimmy Hayden. He's got a little bit of love in the Lava Man number 24 today, as he's currently looking to cap off what could best be described as a great season for him and his team. Multiple fronts to the front, multiple wins to the tax out here, and now looking trying to bring it on home. 3 wide saloon though between Irons, Abbott, and Pottle. 2 drivers with wins to their name, one still searching for more wins. Actually, all 3 have got wins to their name, excuse me. I believe the Toronto Chantel Pottle actually has the first win of the season, if I remember right here. I'll have to kind of remind myself on that one. Oh, and double jumping around turn number 2, though. Unfortunately, I had a total broadcaster cross out there somewhere. Caution is out on the track here. Massive little mistake there, unfortunately, costing 2 drivers into 3. So 3 into 2 doesn't quite make sense, doesn't quite add up there. But here's a look at the Pizza Race 2 instant replay presented by Six Sigma Sim Racing. Okay, right out. Look like Irons came up on Pottle, or Pottle may have came down. Hard to really tell from that angle. McGrath still catching the 5 off guard. I was just talking about how the 5 has got the first win of the season to her name. It has not been to victory lane since, but she does stand in the company with those drivers as 3 winners this season. Irons, of course, the road course ringer, taking it all home there at Watkins Glen. Oh yeah, right there. Chantel just got loose off turn number 2 there, and unfortunately the car just slipping right in between. Irons trying to avoid the wrecks there and almost get himself completely toe-tapped there by Susler. Manages to stay out of that mess and stay out of trouble, so that'll keep him somewhat relatively clean here, but definitely not the way he wanted to start that up. Well, now go down and have a listen into our drivers list here and draw our drivers in between. Should be interesting to hear what they got on their minds and on their mantras here. See if we get in here and have a listen in here with our old friend, the rattlesnake Robert Kahn here. He now joins me here on the call list, ladies and gentlemen. Here, Kahn, out of the gate here, sir, taking quite a bit of an advantage there on the lead position for the qualifying end, but Norgard already making a little run on you there. He's kind of just let him burn his stuff up early on and try to take him down later.
Yeah, that's the plan. It seemed like he made a quick move at the beginning there. Nice move, but it was pretty tight when he cut in front of me. But yeah, hopefully I'm just gonna save some tires, man.
Save some tires, trying to make the run best they can here. I'll ask this too. I mean, Homestead normally known for multi-group kind of racing, but how tricky is it right now just to try to get his car to settle down and kind of set up on the turns here?
It's pretty tough. They don't have much feel here, so you just kind of I'm just doing a little bit of learning on this one, so can let you know a little bit later in the race. You know, but his tires wear, it loosens up, which is good for me. So
very good to hear. Con, thank you so much for your time down there, bud.
All right, thanks, man.
The rattlesnake Robert Kahn on the line there. Surprisingly, he's the only driver we actually have to talk with here, but that works out for us because we're about to go back to the green flag, so that's good news. Championship will be decided here today. Here we will crown ourselves a champion. Who will it be though? Well, going to this race, 2 drivers feasibly have the opportunity to take it home. It could be Jimmy, they'd be hating him, Hayden, or it could be Corey Abbott. The difference, 13 points out in the difference maker. That could mean if Hayden can figure out a way to stay ahead of Abbott, the title will belong to him. Consistency will be key. Positioning will be a momentous occasion and will be everything they're looking for and fighting for in this race. The only question remains, who walks out on top? Well, we're not 1/12 away there just yet, so it's time to bring him right around and settle him back down. Strap yourselves in. We're getting back to the green flag. Here we go to the line. It's green flag out. Season championship still on the line. Hey man, you want to talk about some drivers here that have had some championship implications and some race winning implications? I don't think I could really say anything else about the old oak as of late here on the show. The last 2 months, or the last month really, for that 22, may be the hardest pills to swallow and the hardest difficulty in nature he's had to face in his entire career as a racer. And I've raced him numerous times, numerous occasions. The man just simply can't get out of his own problematic ways and issues and kind of stretch into the position where he needs to and kind of where he wants to set out. And he's trying so hard right now to not let it happen again, but it easily, by no means of his own, could be just literally just too little too late. Only time will tell here, but right now currently the field working their way on around out of the positions and out of the gate here. Everyone just looking for control of the machine, control of the race. The longer this goes, the longer it becomes. Because then it becomes more of a long, drawn-out battle for supremacy, with many drivers going to the outside line as their go-to here. Brian Beeman, number 41, Natural Light, looking to get underneath the tracker boats, number 20, Bass Pro Shops Club of Howard Castle. Looking to try to sneak his way in between. Meanwhile, back up ahead right now, the man that has, in my opinion, kind of up there with Jeff Oakes, but still has yet to even win a championship, let alone a race, is the 213similar.com, number 43, of William White. And I still, honestly, in many cases, in many ways, question how this 43 camp has yet to visit Victory Lane, how it's yet to even been on top. He's had so many missed opportunities, so many tough pills to swallow, and so many issues just trying to stay within his own realm, his own reach. He's been trying to figure out what he can do. now at this point. I think really this season's all about just kind of laying anything he's got left on the table for the top 3 and hoping for the best. For Jimmy Hayden, though, right now he's just desperately trying to get this season wrapped up on a high-end note. Ailton Norgard, even though he's leading out here, Con said already, he's waiting for him to burn his tires up so he can catch him. Patience is a virtue here, and it's extremely difficult to kind of get used to with this car because the tire wear seems to be almost kind of just completely out of proportions. Sometimes it'll stay nice and smooth, sometimes it'll be all over the place, and then sometimes I don't even know what the heck's going on with it. But that's kind of the way they've been dealing with the pressure and dealing with all the control of the cars. There's so much up for the grabs. There's so many things on the line, though, that can make for that kind of racing to happen. So far, it seems like the tires are holding up okay right now. But again, a lot of them are probably trying to save fuel, trying to save a little bit of the equipment as much as possible here as Abbott tries to hunt down Hayden. For this race here, I think Abbott honestly needs to win the race. He needs to put Hayden quite a few spots away from him. That'd be the only way he can take this championship away from Hayden. Hayden got a lot of bonus points and got a lot of points on him throughout just by out-racing him and out-maneuvering him. And I think that's really what kind of hurt him down the long run. Getting a good little idea of it figured out, though. As we look up to the front right now, Robert Kahn has already hunted down an old number 12, Valence Norgard. And if you don't believe me, here's a look at their timesheets. Big time gaps and differences between these drivers here, and you can see the gap continues to wane and fair. Look at Kahn, too. He drives it so wide up there on that top of the corner there, but he manages to get it to stick off the exit. Looking to maybe dive it back down in a little bit, like for a run off the 2 corners here into the banking. Also, let me know in the comment section down below how's the stream looking right now, and how is everything working on your guys' end? 'Cause it looks like it's a little bit choppy on my end here. It's not as smooth as it should be, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe that's just my eyes. Maybe I'm seeing differently than you guys are. Back up to the front here. Whoa! Hold on a minute. Major damage on the number 5. What is going on with the throttle Chantel bottle? 5's got a complete rear right front destroyed, and the front axle housing destroyed on the car. Front of the nose completely destroyed out too. I don't know how that thing's still hanging on there. Bottle's in trouble here, but what happened exactly here to the throttle? What the heck happened here? We're winning the first race this season to now this all of a sudden. Right off turn number 4 there. Oh man, ouch. And then there goes the front of the nose. And then that right front locked up completely. Just trying to keep it out of the way of the drivers. There goes the pieces of the parts though. Yeah, it's not good. There the whole front housing just went out there. So now she's got to get it in a pit road. She's got no choice. Definitely not a race though. That showcases why we've called her the throttle Chantel Paddle, though. What a tough break there for her and the team, unfortunately, to end the season out. But hey, on the bright side, though, she can always say she claimed the season opener, so something a lot of drivers can't say these days. The old Oak himself, Jeff Oaks, right now, currently on board camera here, and you're probably wondering, why in the heck am I calling him the old Oak? Well, Jeff has proven to me one thing's for sure. He's as tough as an oak tree, and he is as solid as an oak tree. He's reliable, he's durable, and you know to always kind of keep him in there and hang in there. But unfortunately for him, as of late, he's had a few times where he's had his race completely chopped down a few notches and lost it extremely late into the run. The most recent one, of course, has to be literally what we saw just literally last Sunday night here on Pizza Racing TV, where he had literally figured out almost trying to find the right word for it. He literally found almost the perfect formula and the concoction to use on the entire field, outmaneuvering and outracing them throughout. Had the race locked up almost, but had it not been for the fuel run, he ended up getting cost that one in his home trip to Victory Lane. And then, to make matters even worse, on the final lap coming off turn 4, hard race in between him and Khan would end up shooting him a little sideways onto the finish, coming up just one spot of the podium, going 4th that day. And I haven't been able really to talk to him ever since then, but I really kind of looking at him when I got to see him in the cockpit today, I already could tell the look on his face, man. He was ready to race, and he was ready to go at it one more time. Same can be said about this guy right here, Mike Rideout. The number 76 MRM Holly EFI Camaro. Rideout's another one of those guys, like, you know, he's reliable in terms of what he can bring to the table, but his power and speed, I don't want to say is lackluster, but it doesn't quite match up to the insane levels and power some of these other drivers got to their name and got to the table. And I think honestly that kind of makes things just a little bit more increasingly difficult for him to kind of master up with and figure out. I think if anything really, he's so good at deciding and figuring out how to run his race, kind of run his drive in, that he sometimes just kind of gets himself lost in the shuffle, kind of lost in the barge here. And now he's just trying to figure out how to get dialed in and get things more set his way. Jimmy Davey Hayden right now currently leading out a good chunk of the points for the season, and now looking to win this one out. Trying to hold on as Corey Abbott now has a little bit of a battle here with Austin Lauder. Austin Lauder here going to try to fight off Abbott just a little bit as they'll go side by side here, entering into turn number 3 and turn number 4. Abbott knows too, if he doesn't get this figured out, his championship is over with. So what does that do mentally as a driver? Well, what it does is it really just kind of puts him in this trance. Almost kind of in a sense, if you will. If they truly are committed to wanting for the championship and committed to trying to make the best of their run, the race, the only thing they can do is just look at the overall picture and look at the overall ideal of the track in their car. Find what could be the best strategy and find a backup strategy, and then use up everything else from there. Go-to from the back here, Will Rempe and the number 55 laying back low here as we now have the battle between Parker Patrick Kelly and Chad Lancaster going down into turn number 3 and 4. Lancaster trying to lambast and hold off the 6, but Parker making the run off the inside there off turn number 4 will get a good drive off and take control of this one. Trying to stay cool and trying to see what he can do there. Norgard still keeping his distance from Khan here. Khan again, no surprise what he's up to. He's trying to strategize above all else over to Norgard, but Norgard here has kind of had his number in certain occasions. He's trying to get his number again here. Working their way down across the plains here. Irons, Lauder right now, still hanging in there. The fast Knoll number 14. What a race he had last week too, man. And I'll play on St. Martinsville too. He had a pretty good little showcase there. But Lauder, man, he was trying so desperately and so hard to finally get something figured out. Thought he might have had some. But unfortunately for him, it just would not play out that way that day. Abbott right now kind of staying in control of his own destiny. Hayden slowing up a little bit. Abbott getting a little bit of a drive here. Looks like he's trying to get to him. That time around, though, Hayden did kind of catch up to his little ways. Got a little bit more speed there, and it didn't make him kind of force him up a little bit. We're 1/4 the way done so far, and Hayden right now, again, trying to plan out. Above all else, trying to find the right time, find the right line. 0.3 of a second gain there for Abbott. What does that tell you as a driver? They're coming for you. Coming up around the top side there, you see Hayden still getting a little piece of that wall there. Iron's kind of working around there with Abbott. And here's the road course ringer guy. We talked about him there at Watkins Glen pretty much the entire race. Absolutely pure, unalterated dominance. And really, I think that's kind of the scary part is that these drivers go back to a road course next season, then man, I would not want to be one of these guys having to go at it then and there. That's kind of the hard part and the hard thing to really realize. You got road course guys. I know a thing or two about these kind of races. And Hayden, troubles from 1 and 2. He opened the door up. Now Iron sneaking his way around. Abbott, though, he needs to get to the front. He needs to get to the race lead. If Hayden does not hold on, he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Abbott is creeping, he's crawling, he's scratching, he's falling, and he's looking for everything he can. Back and forth now, right out. Gonna make his run back up to the top side here. Gonna go head to head here with Parker Patrick Kelly as he's trying to get to Hardcastle. I always love this drag races on these straightaways here, man. These guys just throwing the wire down to the crawl, down to the speeds, and just momentum kicking up more as it goes. Makes for such an impressive display of raw power and cutting. Hardcastle letting up a lot of speed. Parker got around him. Now right out, going to get him on the outside there. Running towards the middle groove. Running to the bottom lane there. Makes this jump and makes it speed up. Pacing around. Hardcastle really nothing he can do about it here. Right out just getting a better run on the outside. Running it back up to the front. This is what we were talking about a little while ago. Con Abbott trying to take both of the lines, trying to take both of the center points here. But Abbott right now, the only thing he cares about, gets to the front and put Hayden back further behind him and hope he'll fall back too far for him to catch him. He's going to have work cut out for him, though, again, with guys like Norgard and them trying to make their move and make their run here to get a win in. And again, after so long out of the spotlight, Khan is struggling here. That's not usually you see the old rattlesnake having problems out the corners there. It seems like everybody today has been having a problem kind of keeping it off the wall protections. We're 1/3 of the way done with this one. I think the problem really lies in the fact that the car just does not want to groove and flesh out off these turns. I think more than likely the biggest issue lays in bulk and in folds on the momentum that can be carried and the run that can be savored in and out of each turn, and that seems to be kind of the dilemma that these drivers are facing. Colin gonna stay up to the top side here, gonna try and stay out of the way of Irons, but Irons trying to do the extreme bottom lane. It's funny that they started on the extreme outside line. Now they're kind of running it towards the bottom and getting a lot more power. But again, you see a lot of drivers, they're struggling to kind of keep the car in motion and stay under control too. But Norgard, I think, really kind of pinpoints like what exactly is his main focus here, which is, again, tire wear saving is also not necessarily trying to go as hard and as fast as he can on the track. He's really kind of doing more of a kind of let it loose, kind of let it roll side of things. And you can see even too, you can see the way he gets to the outside. You can hear the wind kind of pressured up on the tires. The rubber begins to burn, and it kind of forces these drivers into a bit of a little hassle here or two. The 9 here trying to keep the lows 48 up there top side. You can see though, man, look at that rear end just slipping out since the ever so slightly, but still like almost no grip and no run. Very surprising. Also, I already asked a minute ago, but if you guys could let me know, how is the frame rate and everything on the broadcast end? Do you guys think everything's looking alright and everything's still looking okay? We definitely want to know from you guys down below in the comments section. And Norgard going to be the first to pit road here. So the 12, Ledge.gg going to take the first shot at the dark. Corey Abbott, the race lead, now locked up. He really needed to get to that race lead too if he was going to have really any kind of hope or any kind of help saving in this one. Abbott, Irons, and them going into pit road. And now trying to settle up the track and trying to set the field in is what he can do. Parker, Patrick Kelly, Jeff Oaks, and them all now moving their way through the field here. Oaks, the old Oak, going to go into pit road now and settle himself down on the track. Parker right now looks like he's just going to try to linger his way through the field, through the pack here. He did go on lap number 6 though, so it looks like he has a little bit more fuel on his end compared to everybody else here. So that probably is helping him out quite a bit too, if I had to guess. Coming down to the edges here right now currently. Abbott back a little bit behind the gap here. Hayden right now trying to stay somewhat relatively in this kind of hunt kind of deal. McGrath right out. Kelly farther away from the field than anything else. William White in the way of lap traffic right now. Not something I don't think I'd say too often about the 43 unless he's badly damaged. But Kelly managing to close off the gap, going to come up right there to him. Making for a little bit of a jump and a little bit of a charge off here, and Beeman much of the same. And again, the longer this race goes, the more it becomes a bit of a duel out for these drivers and more of a kind of a elongated little fight out. The wear and tear of the tires starts to become much more recognizable. Right out. Going into pit road. Going to obligate himself to settle himself back down. Norgard looking further and further away. Ahead of the gaps, ahead of the fields, and ahead of positions here. He's been just lights out in this one. So consistent, so controlled here. But knows he still has a way to go in this one. Parker right now slowing up big time here on the 6. He's losing a lot of ground and time here. It looks like he may have to finally admit defeat here and go to pit road. Gas will continue to shrink down and things will get a little more crazy. We'll get about halfway done with this race.
So our caution coming out, unfortunately, there. We're trying to get the replay there for you guys there on the track. See what happened here. It looks like Parker Patrick Kelly, though, found himself in a little bit of a troublesome spot here. Getting some massive damage there on the car. So the number 6, unfortunately, getting a little bit forced for wear, if you will. So we'll take a look at the P10 Race 2 instant replay here. There we go. Came right off turn number 4. Just dead stop. Looked like he missed. Yeah, he missed everything completely, and then he got the caution to come right out. I think he was trying to get into pit road and then ended up putting it in reverse, and then absolutely just completely abysmally just messed everything up. Definitely not the way he wanted to play that out, unfortunately, but that's kind of how the race can go sometimes. Well, they'll send him to the very back in the outhouse, a lap down or so. The only driver out of this race here so far is the Throttle Chantel Bottle, but some drivers aren't careful. They may find themselves banished more than just to the shadow realm. They may be banished out of this world. Echo Green ENG, the Echo Green G&G of number 9 is Peter Irons right now, ready to fire him back down on the track here. Straight to the line, back to the wire. Green flag dropping him higher. We're going back to the race. Looks like Irons trying to get himself a race win here after taking home the big one there at Watkins Glen. Looks like he wants to add one more to his name. Coming back around here, Irons with the advantage here as Old Oak here. And Austin Ladder kind of making their way right back into the field here. William White trying to stay in control with Abbott and Hayden. Now having to muscle their way into position. Championship implications here going off between these drivers. Brian Beamer kind of hanging right back there as well with the rattlesnake. Robert Conati now moves up ahead. Con got kind of traversed in that little run there for a while. Now trying to just kind of see what he can bring to the table. We are now halfway done with this race, so yeah, see how the weather holds up from here on out. But right now it looks like it's still pretty sunny and pretty good out here, so I think we'll be able to get this finished in. Irons moving ahead of the field, moving ahead of the distance here. Abbott and Hardcastle trying to do much of the same. William White there on the outside here with Hayden right now trying to maneuver through. You know one thing for sure, if White can somehow kind of play spoiler on everybody, you know he definitely would. But I think that might be a tall order and a tall task even for him to deal with. Each corner, each turn just seems like it gets progressively crazier and harder to master. And for lack of better words too, it could just be a lot of muscling and muscle memory being used up here. Norgard now looking to rally up the troops and fire quickly back into the pace here. Probably not too thrilled about Hardcastle's little situation. Excuse me, about Patrick Kelly's little situation there that we just saw a minute ago. Almost 3 wide off of turn number 4. White, Hayden, Abbott going at it a little bit there, right into the turns, trying to muscle each off the corner. And the one thing really too right now that we got to kind of keep an eye on is, again, with White, he's trying to stay relatively ahead of Abbott's control. He's trying to stay ahead of Hayden's kind of position and accuracy as well. With with momentum being such a key role here, really makes it that much more difficult to find linger and power off from. And Hayden, you can see again the car just slipping out ever so much. It's becoming harder and harder to hang on. White dropping back in, big run coming there from Hayden. But it is Abbott who made a little bit of a run off on him. There you can see the 670 horsepower package of these cars. Now finally starting to transition in extremely well. That's a big, big jump there for Abbott to make that move on him so quickly, so fast. But again, he had to. I mean, there was really no other way he was going to go. It was either he got a more of a runoff on him, or he was going to lose out more. And White's not exactly playing to anybody's hands here either. He's driving his own way, his own style. And that's the only way he knows how to. Firing him on back down here. Anybody's guess, anybody's ideals on who can really make the most out of this machine, out of this race. And it looks like Norgard too. It looks like he's struggling to keep it off the wall protection. So time to go back where he was at and looking for the head of the position. Looks like now the car is even starting to have a little bit of a second thought, second idea where he wants to try to play it out at. But passing here today for the race leader, trying to get up to the leader, has been extremely crucial and difficult. I think a lot of it, though, it really falls on what the driver up front is doing here with the dirty air, maneuvering that right through the cores here. Because we talk about how difficult it is to get any kind of good run on a driver when they throw you in dirty air, because there's three big pillars you got to fight off with, which is the tire wear, and then the overall opportunities to even make a pass, and the way the track lays out too. These tires on iRacing don't exactly give you much to work with. However, I can confirm by the fall, or by next year at least, Q1, I will say that more than likely iRacing will finally give us a oval refresh on their front, on their end. So very excited to see how that goes. But it certainly is going to be a long, long road to that place. Also, ladies and gentlemen, just want to give another quick update on our good friend, longtime comrade there in the old 57. You know him, Man Senior. Wayne Man Senior has been finally awake and alert. He had a Coca-Cola today and said, don't forget about calling him on the broadcast. So, Man Senior, if you're watching on the call today, man, we miss you. We still love seeing you getting better and better, buddy. In fact, he even had a Coca-Cola to me just to celebrate that he's now finally off of feeding, finally feeling okay and doing all right, man. That just tells me that he's really now become much greater and much stronger than he was. I don't know. I think we may see him back on the track soon enough. I certainly hope so. We miss the old man. I know his son, Man Jr., has been very talkative about that and been able to work with us constantly on it as well. Well, 50 laps remain here on the track and on the call. Corey Abbott moving further ahead and looking closer to knocking down the tough contentions here and the tough drivers. Hayden right now making a little bit of a run up there. Currently falling back a little bit to Abbott again. Norgard right in the mix, trying to stabilize down the car. The longer this goes, the further it really benefits those drivers that know how to really bring it to the top, bring it to the front. Speaking of that, pass on the Ross, down from the bottom end. Abbott gets around Irons. We've got ourselves a new leader. Bringing him right down. Abbott right now in the driver's seat to take home a big, big win, but I don't know if it'll be enough for the championship stake. He needs a Hayden to fall back even further. Easier said than done. Right now, William White and Brian Beeman here, it looks like they're kind of struggling to keep their speed up a little bit too here, as Louder and Kahn here kind of showing just how difficult it's becoming now, even make a little run on themselves here. Even if you get closer up to the back gate there, you can see when they get a lot harder on the runs, more power it takes, the more run it will give them, so. Kahn's trying to throw the drive up on the bottom to the top. They're trying to get something figured out, but it just isn't quite doing what they want. Yeah, Kahn finally getting a good little slingshot off Turner 1 and 2. He'll get the drive up there to Louder, but again, Louder. He's thinking louder and prouder. He does not want to give him that run. Put up a good little fight and put up a good little stance there, but there's some things you just can't control around here, my friends. Field's starting to get lingering right around here and getting a lot longer into this battle here. The racing now becoming more of a detrimental little side of things and really putting up pressure. Figuring out where the most possible time is to make a move or make the most find out of your equipment. I'd say it definitely gives it a little bit harder of a pressure to deal with and a lot more control to have to work off from. Opportunity starting to run a little bit farther into gas on the track here, and everyone I think at this point just trying to hope for the best, trying to hope for some breaks or two. Easier said than done. And I think at this point too, this has just now kind of become more of a long-term, long ride off to see who can get the better of the other. So I'm trying to use that bottom line as a little bit of an eye opener for him. But others not getting so lucky down there. Coming off of the outside right now, Hardcastle. Using the bottom lane originally, now just kind of shifted to the top side, and then all of a sudden just kind of ripped it right around there. Well, it's kind of out of instinct there for him and his team, making a good little choice there. Definitely needed to make something work. Got it to work there. Laps were winding down though, running out of time and running out of laps to use. So these drivers now force themselves into a bit of a pickle here. Either make your choices known or make your run quicker because you're running out of time and energy. Abbott trying so desperately just to get away from Hayden and hopefully put him as far as he can back behind him. But I just don't think he's going to have enough this time around unless some late race shenanigans happen or Hayden ends up costing himself here. All Hayden has to do right now really is just drive around the track. He doesn't even need to really worry about trying to get to the front. He's done such an incredible job here just keeping really his whole frame of mindset just kind of stable as it can be. And then using that to his advantage. Peter Irons already from pit road now. And Oaks, the old Oak, will go into pit road now too. Trying to keep an eye on his pin entry there. You saw him get a little bit careful there. So Hardcastle going into pit road right now. Louder joining him there as well. McGrath currently trying to stabilize in to the mid-pack a little bit here. Abbott still leading in it with Hayden just about 4 seconds back of him. And it seems as though that may not change very much for him in his case. Irons getting closer and closer to being passed up here by even the ever so tough Ayrton Nogard. Putting the pressure down, putting the momentum on their lap and putting everything they got to the table. And right now, if I'm Norgard here, if I'm trying to get this race win, I'm just probably at this point thinking maybe just wait as long as I can before I have to go to pit road or get anything situated to take on Abbott. Hayden going into pit road, White as well, and right out in that hunch and in that bunch. A lot of drivers just currently trying to muscle their way out. Hayden trying to quickly get through the field. Can't put a lap down though. That's certainly going to cost him a lot of time and effort. So now he's going to have to try to make his run back to him. Abbott, 26 laps remaining. And oh, so close. Desperately just trying to hang in there just a little longer, trying to put up for what he got and see if he can hang in today. He can maybe just find a little bit more time, a little bit more ground. He can hang on to this and take full control of this race. McGrath right now kind of stabilized up a bit. Alan Norgard going into pit road. He's going to try to hurry up. Abbott finally going to get to pit road. So now the time has come. Which one's going to be getting the better of the other here? Hayden going to get his lap back. This is crucial right now. Abbott needs to hurry in and hurry out if he wants any chance to figure this one out and see what he can do. Pit road in and out for Abbott, and he's trying to hurry. Hayden's on the front straightaway right now, looking to clear it out. Last chance here for both drivers to make their statements and make their presence felt. McGrath, Irons leading it up there, but it's Abbott and Hayden, the two talking points here in this race. Jumps it back out, and it looks like Abbott gonna get himself back in pace before Hayden can catch him. Pretty quality little maneuvering there by both drivers, but again, it just did not quite plan the way they were hoping for. So McGrath now going to pit road here. Irons already went in earlier on, and it looks like right now he may be kind of outsmarting everybody and trying to play a different strategy to everyone else's little game plan. Went on lap 81. Trying to stay ahead of the ever elusive Abbott and Hayden, trying to come up to him. Khan also in that mix and in that bulge. The rallies of the runs and the rallies of the speeds here, just kind of getting further along as they go. 20 laps to go here. Take a look at our lap time gap here between Irons and Abbott here, and boy, talk about gaining a lot on these drivers. You can just see more and more. Time running out, track starting to expand the drivers out a little bit more. The field has kind of filled their spots, filled their places, filled their momentum. Done what they need and done everything they had to here in this race. Some of this last bit of rounds here and the last bit of racing they've been able to kind of do today, man, has just been pretty much whatever they were able to control and whatever they're going to be able to find down. But nobody could say that they didn't give a heart and a soul for all they had to do and take in this race. Beeman currently getting a little bit long down here and stretched out on the gap. Abbott, Hayden just trying to do whatever they can to outdo the other. Abbott just knows though the championship is slipping away. He may be able to catch Irons, who's only about 5 seconds ahead of him compared to the 8 seconds it was a little while ago. But I'm not going to put my money on either driver right now for that. I think I might be a little too far out to truly say anything there. The only thing they can really do is just hope and pray. Look at Norgard now. Going to bring it right up there to Khan to the inside. Big jump coming up. That's pretty much exactly what he had to do. Took full control of that run and took control of that little power off there to the turns. Khan nowhere to leave off on the table, and nothing left he can really do at this point. The laps will just continue to drip off and slip away, increasing everything that comes with it and everything that kind of came down to the time and the point of view. McGrath right now just wrapping it right up on the wall protection. That's pretty much kind of how his season's been, here to put it nicely. Just never been able to fully figure it out. And now pretty much left with nothing on the table and everything left off on him. 11 laps remain here on the clock here. And Irons just looking to kind of be ironed out his efficiencies and iron the spot up this last bit of the run. He's been so consistent today too. It's been absolutely impressive to me. I just cannot believe how smooth they've been able to really work this thing in the last bit. And this being the last bit too, I think it's time we have a little fun, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it one more go, one more time. Let's crank this one up one last time on Pizza Race TV. Well, big jump up ahead there for Corey Abbott. He gets this one locked up and takes a nice little speed off there. Puts Irons behind him. Norgard also kind of taking control there. Abbott making a good final leg up here with only 6 laps remaining. It seems as though he finally figured out how to get that car to dial in and tuned up just enough. And that's exactly what he needed to here for this final leg. Now can he hold on and hope for the best? That's going to be the question for him. And things left out about 4 laps to go with that 5-5 on your screen, as we already seen. Beeman trying to stay relatively in command to take down Louder one more time this season. Abbott with the lead. Norgard and Irons currently holding down Jimmy Hayden. Running them down to the final legs of the run. Beeman coming right up there at him and throwing it did. These drivers right now absolutely knowing how much of a season it's wore and tore on their bodies with the green flag high in the air. 2 drivers came in looking for a championship. One of which is going to fall just fall a bit short, it seems. But we will have to judge it to who was the one later on in a little while. But ladies and gentlemen, off turn number 4 this time on by. White flag in the air. Corey Abbott has dominated a majority of this race from the initial point of view. Coming to the final legs of it all here. He did everything right. He did everything he needed to. The rest, as they say, will fall on the track. Checkers out. Corey Abbott wins it at Homestead. But will Jimmy Hayden coming in 4th? Will he be the champion? Points will need to be tallied up. But we can sure say Corey Abbott is your race winner today. Yeah, a little bit of love there from Hardcastle here to the 21. It looks like some from the 43. Why not? Well, it looks like Abbott thinks he may have more than just a race win. I think he's got some more to his table here. By the way, we know he's going to burn the house down. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, your race winner today, Corey Abbott in the 21. Get a little spicy on the donuts here on the burnouts. Nicely done, my friend. He's just going to try to burrow those tires off, I bet, though. Oh, man. He wanted to give the fans something to think about. He certainly is going to give them something to really think about. Gonna bring it right around off the track here and say hello to the fans one last time and thank you for they have brought him his title here. Race winners here, Corey Abbott, Norgard, Irons, Hayden, and Con, your top 5. Beeman gonna go 6th, Louder 7th, 8th, Hardcastle 9th, White, and Right Out going 10th. Rounds out your top 10. I'm currently right now trying to see if we for sure can see the final results here. The results have not come up just yet here. Trying to wait on that here as we go, hoping we can hear something soon. Judging by the overall points, I don't think it would have been enough anyway here for Abbott to catch Hayden. But again, I could be wrong, so I'll have to let that kind of cipher out and figure out here. It looks like Hayden may have indeed claimed the title here, but we'll listen to our drivers right now here, ladies and gentlemen. Here, going to start off with our second place finish today. Alien to Norgard here. Norgard, what a season you've had, sir. You've had a lot of highs and some lows, and obviously not going to take home the championship this season time around, but what a time for you and this crew here, man. Coming home in second place today. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. I had a specific goal tonight, and that was just to block up third place in the championship, and I managed to do that. I was tied with William White on points and 1 point behind Robert Kahn. So I needed 2 spots ahead of Robert. and I got 3. And then I also got the bonus points for most laps led. So very happy with how tonight went. Wish I could have gotten the win. Kind of sucks to go winless this season after getting 6 last season, but there's always next time.
Always next time, indeed. I know you had a lot of some heartbreaks in between. I know, obviously, as you just mentioned, you couldn't quite get into victory lane this season, but I mean, still, as for you and a team, I mean, gotta believe you're absolutely happy with the way that things have kind of taken itself and taken control of from here, what you got here today, isn't it?
Yeah, after some of the luck that I've had this season, being able to pull off a 3rd place in the championship really it makes it feel better. It doesn't totally make up for it, but it definitely helps.
Definitely helps indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, it's been an awesome season to have you back around here. So I'll ask you as always, sir, who do you want to thank you for these ones?
As usual, my teammates at Abbott Motorsports, Corey, Jimmy, and Andrew. Um, Shout out to tanks.gg, World of Tanks database site, and ledge.gg, the points site that Six Sigma uses. And then Ben, Carrie for Run League, and you at PTM for doing the cast.
For sure, there, Ailenton. Congratulations bringing this one home for a second today, sir.
Thanks.
Ailenton Norgard, ladies and gentlemen. Well, currently, right now, we're about to talk with the guy that's going to bring it into victory lane today, ladies and gentlemen, Corey Abbott. What a season it's been. What a wild time for you and this team. But nevertheless, here, this one kind of came down the wire between you and Hayden. But it sounds like between you and Hayden, it looks like Hayden might have got you there. It sounds like, at least I'm doing my math right?
Yeah, I did the math a couple days ago because I wasn't even sure if I was going to make this race. But yeah, even if I got max points, qualified first, led a lap, led most, and won, I was going to be off by like 3 or 4 points. So my goal coming in was just win at all costs. The goal was win. Anything else doesn't matter because you can't win the championship anyways. So next best thing you can do is win a race.
Win a race and win multiple of them this season. And obviously, I know this was a big deal for you to really take full control and have a last chance at having one more showcase on the track here today. So, I mean, for you and this team, I mean, I know it's a little disheartening to lose out on our championship, but do you think that this season truly has now kind of given you a little bit more of a limelight, a bit of a better spotlight to truly take control of the season, maybe have a chance one day at becoming a champion?
Yeah, I think so. Uh, I mean, the car specifically, the next gen, is just so different from any other stock car on the service or in general. And I figured it out, or I say figured it out. I just something about it I like, just the way it drives. Other people, it throws them off because it does. It's not a normal stock car. Like the lefts wear more than the right. That's not normal. But I don't know, something just clicked, especially here today. I think that I have a chance. I always think I have a chance. Yeah.
Well, you always have a chance. You always have something great to kind of come forth and fight to the end here with. So, Abbott, I know it's been a very long season for you, but who do you want to thank here for this one?
Well, first off, I gotta thank you, and I gotta thank Ben and Carrie for putting this on. It was a good season. Gotta thank Abbott Motorsports, Jimmy Hayden for locking up the championship for the team. Second one, 2 for 2. Clayton Norgard, Andrew Hardcastle, Caleb Clifton, the one time he came out with us at Dega. Yeah, just proud of my guys.
For sure there, Abbott, man. It's great to have you back on board. Another second place this season, but a win here to cap it off. Congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you.
Corey Abbott, ladies and gentlemen, ending out his season on a high note, but this guy right here is going to end on an extremely high note. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you, your Season 2 champion, Jimmy Hayden, going to bring it on down. And, Jimmy, I gave you the nickname They Be Hating. Well, they're going to be hating you for a while, but, man, you got the love from the fans and the crowd taking this one home for a championship ride. Congratulations, ending this season on a high note, buddy.
Thank you, sir. It was a really good season. I really appreciate the group. that we raced with. They raced clean, a lot of respect, a lot of good guys. I made a lot of friends. So always a pleasure racing with these guys.
Pleasure racing with them and seeing you on the track here, facing up against them too. I know this was a very, very long, drawn out race and a time for you and this team, but I mean, just for the near fact you're able to hold on and keep this thing where it needed to be the entire race. I mean, how big is that to know you finally got a championship locked up on your end for once?
Yeah, man. I had a feeling it might have been locked up last week after Talladega, but like still the point gap between me and Corey was like 14 points, 13 points, something. So I wasn't, I still wanted to give it everything I got. I knew Corey was going to be good this week, and I'll tell you what, I made backward strategy calls all night, and I was just kind of along for the ride. Definitely not my best track, and I think it showed tonight.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, you have done it all. You have claimed it all, and you are the Season 2 champion. They be hating you, but we love you. So, Hayden, who do you want to thank you for this one, buddy?
Oh, it's always gotta thank you guys. You guys put on a great show. Got a big shout out to Ben and Carrie for putting this all together for us. It's by far the best league I think I've ever run. Um, just a really great group of guys, a lot of respect, a lot of fun. So, I gotta give a big shout out to everybody at Abbott Motorsports. I'm really thankful to be part of that crew. Corey, Leighton, Andrew, a bunch of other guys in there in other leagues and stuff that we run. A lot of really, really great guys. Um, yeah, man, great season. A lot of great people out there. So, and lastly, as always, if you need any motorsport images or if you're, just like checking them out, check out Jimmy Hayden Photo.
You guys heard it for the last time this season. Hayden gonna bring it to victory lane and a championship to his name. Nevertheless, Hayden, congratulations on becoming the champion, sir.
Thank you very much.
Jimmy Hayden, ladies and gentlemen, gonna finalize this one out one last time and cap off our second season we've ever witnessed here on PT Race TV with Six Sigma Sim Racing. What a long season it's been. But it's been worth every penny, every little drop and dime, I bet you, for these drivers. And thank you again to Six Sigma Sim Racing for all their support this season and throughout. Thank you to all the fans out there for tuning in. We love and appreciate every single one of you. Until we calculate the green flags out again, we'll see you tomorrow night. Pitstall Race Series back on the show, and then we'll have a little time off on Friday. And again, I am said before, I'll say it again, I don't know if we'll be live Saturday, so just keep an eye out for that. Also, we will be trying to maybe work on some things with our streams here, so keep an eye out for that in the near future as well. But for now, we love you guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next time when the green flag flies on PT Racing TV.